Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again to a different opinion. Yet again, hope everyone has been well. Today, it's pretty sad news. I mean, if you haven't heard about it yet, I mean, it is on every damn news channel, everything I can ever see, and they all keep saying the same stuff, right? So at least there's going to be a bit of honesty when it comes to the non-mainstream, right? So this one here is from 9 News. I mean, it happened in Canada. 10 dead in Canada, mass stabbing, and also 15 people are hospitalized as well. The longer the time's going to go ahead, the more we'll kind of get updates on this, right? So, Canadian police are hunting two men suspected of killing at least 10 people in a mass stabbing attack in a province of Saskatchewan. So, before we jump into this article here, please subscribe to the channel if you do want to help support it. We are trying to reach the goal of 1,000 subscribers, and we're nearly there. Also, comment with your opinions as well, and also like the videos that you do like. So, the victims are found in 13 locations in 2 communities, police said. 15 people have been hospitalized after stabbings in multiple locations on the James Smith Cree Nation and in the village of Weldon, northeast of Saskatoon, police said. So, these are the suspects, alright? I believe they're brothers, Damien Sanderson and Miles Sanderson. They said that these victims appear to have been targeted by suspects, but others appear to have attacked at random, right? So, obviously, Canada's gun laws are ridiculously tough. And, the thing that I want to point out is it's not always the weapon that does everything, right? It's literally the people. If people want to hurt people, they'll find a way to hurt people. Same as we're always seen with these, the guns that happened with the mass shootings in America, more and more, and people, absolutely going off their head saying we need to ban everything, just going crazy and, not making any sense, because look what can happen when people also wield knives or pretty much weapons that you can buy on the street, right? People will find a way to kill people. And also, mental conditions are getting worse, like by far. And I'm not sure if it's just the way that people are being raised or something. That's what I kind of blame it back on, is the way how people are raising people. I mean, you look at how people are raising kids to, when they're 3, 4 years old, choosing their own gender, people thinking that they're wolves, and, just random things like that. And the worst thing is people are allowing this because they think to allow these sort of things is the easiest way to, you got to coddle people, you got to make them feel good about themselves. Whereas back in, just even when I grew up, it was a bit of a harder time where you got to do this, you got to do that, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it's the better for you, right? And I'm not saying that in every single situation, but that's just what I believe, right? Like, I would talk to some of my friends in New Zealand and all that, where, they never got hit by their parents, no matter what they did, no matter how bad they talk in front of them, no matter what they do, they never got smacked. Whereas with me, I got smacked definitely if I was rude or, spoke out, but not in a bad way where it crippled me. It was just, it hurt. It was painful. When I was a kid, you'd cry, but you learned your lesson and you wouldn't do it again. Yeah. That's just obviously what I believe anyway. That's my opinion. And so jump back into this one here. She couldn't provide a motive. It's horrific what has occurred in our province today, said Rhonda Blackmore, commanding officer of Saskatchewan, the RCMP. There could be more injured. Doreen Lee's an 89-year-old grandmother from Weldon said she and her daughter thought they saw a suspect when a car came barreling down the street early in the morning and her daughter was having a coffee on her deck. Lee said a man approached him and said he was hurt and needed help, but Lee's said the man took off and ran after his daughter. After her daughter said she could call for help. He wouldn't show his face. He had a big jacket over his face. We asked his name and he kind of mumbled his name twice and we couldn't get it out. He said his face was injured so bad he couldn't show it. She said the man was by himself and kind of a little wobbly. So hopefully they're still at large now, I believe. Weldon resident Diane Shear said she was in her garden when she noticed emergency crews a couple of blocks away. Blah, 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 blah. So we know what happened. I'm pointing this out here too because this happens more and more in different countries. I mean, there's so many stories I can talk about, but this one here, I just remember in New Zealand, 4 wounded in a stabbing rampage in Auckland. Bystanders bring attacker to the ground. So a man was wounded, 4 people in a stabbing attack before being stopped by bystanders who brought him to the ground in an Auckland neighborhood. Police District Commander Naila Hassan said the attack in Auckland on Thursday was random and the suspect was in custody. She said there was no indication the attack was a hate crime as the victims were different genders, ethnicities, and ages. It's funny how that seems to be always the first thing, right? As a hate crime. It's like, no, someone's just messed up in the head and wants to hurt people. That's what it is. You don't need to try and find a reason why. It's just this person's messed up in the head and they want to hurt people because they believe they need to blame everyone else for their hardships. This was an extremely fast-moving incident where police officers and staff responded quickly, apprehended the offender, and prevented. Where police staff responded, yeah, righto. It's actually the people, neighborhood people, that actually stopped this person. So they quickly apprehended the offender and prevented further harm to our communities. She said the victims all suffered moderate injuries. So it just shows you every country, no matter where you are, New Zealand, Canada, blah, 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 where the toughest laws are, these things can happen. It happens in every country, especially with the ones with the hard gun laws, right? That's the weapons they can find and that's the weapons they're going to use. Unfortunately, there's just messed up people like this in the world, right? Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree that it's, obviously it's not the weapon, it is the person? Or do you think otherwise? Please let me know. Also, like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to support the channel and see my future videos as well. Thanks for watching.